Hi, and welcome to this video where I will be discussing the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is a really abundant element which makes about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere. The really big and ironic thing about nitrogen is that even though it's an essential component of DNA and proteins, the building blocks of life, only a handful of organisms are able to use it. Part of the air, a big part of the air we breathe in as humans, is composed of nitrogen. But some organisms can't, like plants and cats. This is where the nitrogen cycle helps. Atmospheric nitrogen, which consists of two pairs of nitrogen put together, break apart, and they mix with other elements. It becomes ammonia when mixed with 3 hydrogen atoms. And it becomes nitrates when a nitrogen atom mixes with 3 oxygen atoms. There are 4 processes in the nitrogen cycle. The first one being nitrogen fixation. This is a process that causes 2 nitrogen atoms to break apart so that they can be able to bond with other atoms, like oxygen and hydrogen, to form ammonia and nitrates. There are 3 ways this happens: atmospheric, industrial, and biological fixation. Atmospheric fixation, which only makes about 5 to 8% of the fixation process, uses a huge amount of energy in the form of lightning to break nitrogen atoms apart. When this happens, it allows nitrogen atoms, nitrogen molecules, to bond with oxygen atoms. Then these bonded atoms, or molecules rather, they dissolve in the rain, which in turn goes to the soil. When they dissolve in the rain, this forms nitrates. So the nitrates, they go into the soil. The next method is the method we know today as industrial fixation. In this process, great pressure and temperatures up to 600 degrees Celsius are used for atmospheric nitrogen and hydrogen to combine to form ammonia, which can be used as a fertilizer. So there's nothing much to that, but nitrogen and hydrogen, they go together to form ammonia. Ammonia, which is used as a fertilizer. The last method in nitrogen fixation is called biological fixation. In this process, there are 2 types of nitrogen fixing bacteria. The first one is called free living bacteria, and the second one is called symbiotic relationship bacteria. What these bacteria do is they have a special ability to break apart nitrogen atoms and bond them with other atoms of other elements. So they make nitrates and ammonia. So basically, in the whole nitrogen fixation process, to wrap it up, nitrogen is broken down and it's mixed with either ammonia, I mean hydrogen rather, sorry, and oxygen. When it's mixed with hydrogen, it becomes ammonia, and when it mixed with oxygen, it becomes nitrates. Oh, and random fact, most atmospheric nitrogen forms or becomes or is converted to ammonia. It's used as fertilizer, and most of it goes in the soil. And it's really harmful to most organisms if not used properly. Thank you, nitrogen cycle, for creating ammonia. And the second process, which is called ammonification, bacteria and decomposers break down amino acids into ammonia. The ammonia then is stored into the soil. While it's in the soil, the ammonia will change into forms of nitrogen, which most plants can use. So, nitrogen is really helpful for most plants because it helps in growth and helps in protein and, as I said earlier, building blocks of life. So, plants will grow. After ammonification, the remaining ammonia in the soil goes to the third process, known as nitrification. Nitrifying bacteria in the ground, they combine with ammonia to form nitrates. Then another group of bacteria then convert nitrites into nitrates. So there's a change in spelling. Instead of I, it becomes a nitrites to nitrates, which plants can absorb and use for many processes, especially processes of life. Nitrogen then goes back, then re-enters the atmosphere through the fourth process we know as the nitrification. The nitrifying bacteria live deep in soil and swampy sediments. Let's just call them triple S for short. So they live in the triple S, soil and swampy sediments, where conditions make it really difficult for them to receive oxygen for metabolic purposes. These bacteria then use nitrates as an alternative to oxygen. After using these nitrates, they leave nitrogen gas as a byproduct. So after everything they've done, they produce nitrogen gas, which is good for the environment, so it can start the nitrogen cycle all over again. So this nitrogen gas, they go back to the atmosphere, and this finishes the cycle, so it can go all over again. So it can start, and then it can reach this point, and it can end. The nitrogen gas also goes back to the atmosphere in different methods. They also come from industrial emission and volcanic eruptions. There, thank you for watching. I just really want to thank SlideShare for helping me create this amazing project. It's really amazing, but it's a project using one of their presentations. Thank you, and I just want to acknowledge Mr. Guta for giving us this assignment project. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching, and thank you for bearing with me, in this really messed up and sucky video. Thank you.